we've got Chris on technical, Neil on insight, and Steve in the driving seat. It's talking Formula One. Sorry, hang on. We can't let that forehead comment. Like, everyone's going to see that because it was live when you made it. All right, so it's going to be live on the internet for all your future generations to see. I just wanted to make you aware of that. Excellent start to the show. Over to you, Steve. Apologies.
That timing was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Fantastic. Hello and welcome to Talking Forehead or Talking Formula One, whichever one you prefer, really. With me, Steve and Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm all right. So that's me forehead.
Fantastic. Yes, of course, we might have Neil. Who knows? We have Chris on technical, Neil on insight. We just don't have any insight anymore. Neil might be along. We'll wait and see. But thank you very much for joining us. If you've on no site. Thank you for joining us from the previous Talk in Town show. Then hello and welcome and hello again. Yes, we are here to obviously talk about Formula One as per the name of the show. We've had the first race of the new regulations. Australia has been and gone. We perhaps had an unsurprising race winner. I think everyone saw that one coming, really. But we've of course had our first look at the new regulations. So they've been unleashed upon the world now, not hidden behind closed doors in testing or leaving anyone with any doubt. What were your, after the Australian Grand Prix, Chris, what were your thoughts on that? Well, are you a fan of these regulations, or is it a bit too early to tell, or are you not a fan?
I hate these engines, man. Absolutely hate them. I want to see qualifying, full on, lick the stamp, send it every corner as fast as you can go. I mean, we've been crying about the tyres for 3 years, how it's always been thermal limited. I know, and now actually the tyres are secondary. It's all about this super clipping that they have to do, which, heaven forbid, what it's going to be like in China. And yes, for the first 15 laps, it made a spectacle of it, but it was Leclerc was right. It was a bit Mario Kart, wasn't it? Really, it was. Yeah. I mean, it needs to grow on me.
Yeah, it's early days. We've had one race. It was one of the more energy limited circuits. But yeah, when you're watching it on TV, and you're watching it on board of a car, and they get to the end of that straight when it's that sort of fast left-right hander, and you're hearing cars lifting off so far before the corner. That's pathetic. These engines are absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's the clipping that they have to do in order to get down the second part of the straight. So you have they're deliberately reducing power to put power back into the battery, so then they can deploy the deployment on the second part of the straight. That's Formula E, or that's not Formula One to me. That engine should be screaming at high RPM at that point. And the fact is, they have so much lift and coast. Turn 6, you used to literally, you just dab the brake, drop a gear, and fling it around the corner to go into the straight. Now you're lifting, double shifting to get the revs in, so you can get the battery powered up, so you can go down the straight. It's just not racing for me at the minute. I mean, as you said, it's a power limit. It was a circuit that was always going to be tough, and as the driver said, it's probably the worst track to start on for the regulations. Expecting this weekend to be a lot better, but I want to see the cars go full throttle. I watched the old W11 the other day around Spa. That's a car.
Yeah, that was engineering perfection, W11, and that's it. Qualifying is made for one lap, balls to the wall, man and machine, flat out. Not all I'm going to lift and coast here. And the fact they call it super clipping is trying to make it sound cool. It's crap. Don't call it super clipping. Call it what it is. Rubbish. All this terminology they're coming out with is pretty awful. The drivers have been quite vocal in some criticisms as well. I mean, Lando said they've gone from driving some of the best cars in Formula One to driving the worst. Max Verstappen obviously has been openly critical about this since 2023.
If I'm honest, the only person's opinion I can actually take with truth is Max. because he's just come out of one of the most dominant eras of Formula One for a driver and a team, and he's saying this is absolute bullshit. Whereas Lando's gone from a dominant car to a car that's midfield, and George has gone from a car that's midfield to now perceivably could be a dominant car. So they're going to be skewed their opinion. But Max was in the bet has just had 4 years, 5 years of dominance almost, and he's saying this is absolute rubbish.
It is, and people are going to be saying, "Oh, he's just saying that because he's not got a competitive car anymore." The Red Bull is still competitive. Hadjar put it third in quali. It's 8 tenths behind Mercedes, but he's third in quali.
How competitive Red Bull is, because Max was out of position. Hadjar went out early, but Max still brought fourth to sixth, didn't he? He's still come through to sixth, so they've still got a quick car.
Yeah. The Red Bull was still decent, and for Max to be saying this is absolutely rubbish does really show a lot. And when you had, I think we spoke about it in previous shows, I think it might have been after testing or after the Barcelona shakedown, when you had three of F1's most prominent drivers in Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen all questioning this, it's a bit of an eye-opener. And the fact that Formula One posted on Twitter, X for the new people, there were this many overtakes in 2026 compared to this many in 2025, and everyone's saying, it's artificial, isn't it? It's because of the super clipping, and it's because half the field are having to save battery, and then they'll just get that driver that overtook them the next time round. We saw it with George and Leclerc. It's just, I'll repass you then.
It's almost like
F1 started hiding the replies.
Yeah, they almost gave this. It was got to the point with Leclerc and Russell where they were giving up into the chicane in order to get down the back straight because they could have lifted and put more energy back into the battery by giving up the position to then have more battery to go into the next final sector. So that just is almost artificial racing, really, wasn't it?
It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing the lead changing every lap, and I love seeing a battle for the lead because we had years of there being no battle for the lead. You think of Verstappen in 2023, there was never a battle for the lead. But not when it's as engineered and as artificial as this, because it's just like, all right, well, last time you had more battery, this time I do, so I'll just get you again, always in the same place.
I think the concern, is how far the Mercedes were ahead. If Ferrari hadn't come to the party, that would have been 2014 all over again. And
I was so excited when that started.
This is absolutely donkey. But
yeah, I think there was a lot of concerns after qualifying, wasn't there? Because Russell was a good few tenths ahead of Kimi, but then there was a gap of 8 tenths to Hadjar. And I thought, this race is going to be so shit. But then Charles Leclerc absolutely saved the day there. And the Ferraris do look decent.
I was looking at the mini sectors for qualifying, and the Ferraris have aerodynamically a great package. That package, I think, actually is better than Mercedes. But it's just that grunt behind them that Mercedes they made up so much time on the straights, which Ferrari, because of the small turbo, can't generate that, and the compression ratio that obviously may be sorted out in the coming months or not. We don't know, but. And then it's funny. Russell was complaining, I think, about the Ferrari and trying not to change the starts. Well, why would you? Because Ferrari's competitive edge is the race starts at the minute, just like Mercedes' competitive edge is their engine.
Yeah, exactly. And Mercedes aren't going to go, all right, we'll change our engine. Of course, they're not going to do that. Why would Ferrari go, okay, we'll put ourselves at a disadvantage? Any advantage any team that isn't Mercedes can get over Mercedes, of course they'll take it. It may be a matter of time until the Mercedes cars do get past them, but at least they've had a bit of a spectacle and they've shown they can fight. I mean, both Ferraris were doing all right,
I think it makes this weekend interesting.
Towards the end of the race,
I think Ferrari will be quick again. They're obviously, I think they're arguably a better race trim car. If that VSC, if they'd both pitted under the VSC, which they could have done because Lewis had time to eke out 2-3 seconds for a double stack, then we would have had a race for a lot longer. Unfortunately, because Mercedes were at completely different ends, they could control the race, and they could control, and the tyre wear wasn't what we thought it was, so they could be able to eke out the one stop. But I think obviously, especially with a sprint race, I think Ferrari will be quite competitive. I think qualifying Mercedes will get 1-2. I generally think they're very, very good in qualifying. But the race, if Ferrari starts and the Red Bull starts, isn't. Wow, Hajal's was a bit pony, but Max's was all right.
Yeah, Max got a good start. Fernando got a great start. You see him up to 10th.
It's the only thing the Honda's done.
Every lap he lost the place. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, we saw something I'd never seen from a Formula One team before, and that's retire both of their cars from the race and then put them back in it. Very good. Both Astons. Oh, no, Lando's out. No, Fernando's back in.
They were open. It was a qualified test session. I'm actually surprised how long they ran. They obviously, they've taken for the vibrations are slowly working, but I don't know how long that's going to take for them to get a competitive engine and competitive anything really.
No. It was a close battle in the midfield, wasn't it? I mean, you had, for a lot of teams, Alpine disappeared, really, but the likes of RB, Haas, I mean, Lindblad had a great race.
Audi was
first Grand Prix in Formula One, he did very well.
Yeah, he did, yeah. As I say, Audi was surprising to me. I generally thought that they'd be back with Cadillac, also the 10th quickest team for most of the season, but they've come out strong. The engine looks okay, absolutely fine. Obviously, there's some technical problems. Both didn't start, but the package looks okay, and it looks something decent to build on. So they've got the financial clout, unlike Sauber did, to go and develop that car and develop that engine. So we shall see how they get on. But they look like they could in a year or a couple of years be up with the big boys.
Well, that's the game for them, isn't it? Cadillac said they want to be one of the best teams. They're a long way off that right now. Both cars having identical problems on literally mirror images with their mirrors coming off. Valtteri Bottas causing a VSC, Perez being absolutely nowhere. But I don't think you can really expect anything more from them right now, can you? It's very much like a turn up, get at least one car to the end of the race, build from there. No one expected anything from Cadillac, really. Audi had a bit more expectation because they're not a brand new team. They're just taking over, obviously, with the new power unit. Cadillac is a brand new, fresh, from the ground up rebuild, and they're not slowest. Surprisingly.
But they've employed the right people, Audi. You look at they've employed seasoned F1 people, and Jonathan Wheatley and Bonotto and etc. So I think they'll be, and they've got that's always the problem with Sauber, wasn't it? The financial clout that they had behind them. They struggled since BMW left them. They always struggled to really mix it with the big boys because they couldn't afford it. Whereas Audi Audi are always successful in all their sports. Their motorsport. Look at Le Mans, multiple time winners, DTM, etc. So they'll give it a good go.
If you're Audi, you're not just in Formula One to compete, are you? You're in Formula One to win. You're Audi. You're one of the biggest car brands in the world. You're one of the most successful in terms of racing. You're in it.
Yeah.
And it remains. I mean, it's going to be a really close battle. I mean, hopefully other teams can drag themselves into it. Hopefully Aston can sort themselves out. Alpine looks good in testing. Hopefully they can get themselves back up in there. Williams, if they manage to shave 3.5 tons off their car, should be okay.
What's going on with Williams? What is going on with Williams? I've been reading this week that everybody thinks Sainz has made the wrong decision, obviously, because Audi are quicker than Williams at the minute. I mean, we only had one race, but as we've said previously, they spent 2 years on this car. Look at Ferrari. Ferrari went early on this year's car last year, and look what they've come out with. They've come out with a very good package. Really only let down by the engine, which isn't a bad engine at all. They're bringing innovations. They've got the Macarena wing. They've got those little things around the halo. They're bringing new innovations already. What have Williams been doing?
There's nowhere to hide from it, is there? With James Vowles coming out and saying we don't care about 2024, we don't care about 2025, 2026 is the year that we really, we care about. And there's a lot of expectations on the shoulders of Williams. Thinking, can this finally be a year where Williams drag themselves back towards the front? No. I was feeling very confident last year, and I had in my predictions that Williams would win a race this year. And I've still kept it because I'm daft.
They're getting the points first.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
They were absolutely nowhere, weren't they?
Just what?
Very, very anonymous.
very disappointing. Aston Martin got a blindly obvious excuse as the power unit. Aerodynamically, we don't actually know where the car is. It actually wasn't too bad when it actually ran. Whereas Williams, Alpine, disappointed by. They looked okay at Bahrain, but they obviously turned up again. It's just, you just sit there and think there's absolutely no excuse for this, Williams, and there'll be heads rolling, I think, by come June, July, if they're still rolling around in 13th, 15th, not putting any scores on the board.
So what do you reckon with James Vowles then? How long has he got? Because he's been there a few years now, a couple of years at least. And he said, he's openly said, we don't care about these years, but we want to focus. 2026 is our year. We're really pushing.
I saw an interview that he said that they're going to have stuff coming every race now for the foreseeable. They're going to know a lot of stuff. As we know, they've had to add weight to the car to get it past the crash test. So there's a long way. Apparently, the McLaren's pretty overweight as well, which I was surprised at.
Oh, okay.
So we shall see, shall we? But Williams, they've got no hiding place in the next couple of races, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately, with Saudi and Bahrain most likely being cancelled, we're going to have the whole of April with no racing. So I'll have a whole month to sort it out.
Yeah. And Alex came out. I was watching the drivers' press conference earlier, and Alex was saying about China's not exactly a strong circuit for them, which good. Can't wait for that. And Max saying he swapped his simulator out for a Nintendo Switch. I love just how he doesn't care. He's like, look, I hate these regulations, and I'm going to make no secret about it. And I love that. Although I can sit on the fence with Max a little bit from time to time about his driving style and attitude, that I love how he has been so open about these regulations, because a lot of drivers are sort of tiptoeing around it. Don't want to upset the FIA, don't want to upset Formula One. Max like, that's crap.
But that's probably why he likes GT racing so much, because it literally is, you just go as fast as you can. You're not like, your tyres aren't that thermal limited, you're not limited by gadgets and power, like batteries and things. You just go as quick as you can.
Yeah, and he's of course doing the Nürburgring 24 hours, isn't he? In May, in a Mercedes.
I generally think that if he doesn't see progress in terms of going back to proper racing, he may just walk away.
I wouldn't be surprised. But talking of going back to proper racing and potential changes, it's been said that the FIA, Formula One, are looking at slightly altering regulations ahead of Japan. Apparently, they're going to use China for data. When there's less practice, so you get less data. So they're going to use China for a bit more data analyzing, with the potential view of adjusting regulations after only 2 races. It's
less reliance on the battery, I think, isn't it? From what I think, which is needed, because this super clipping nonsense is far too. They've gone all in without any real. People have been warning about it for a long time.
Open massively about it before.
Hopefully they do go back on it a little bit for Japan, and we get. I just want to go into a corner full speed. That's all. As
F1 fans, we don't ask for much money. We don't ask for much. We do as F1 fans. We ask for a hell of a lot. But surely flat-out qualifying is one of the things you want most as a Formula One fan, because you want to see cars on the ragged edge for the entire.
I think until we get it, I'm just going to keep watching old cars qualify on YouTube after qualifying, just to satisfy my need. Well, talking about, do you know the old W11 I was saying, and Ferrari obviously being a good package. This old Loic Serra is the chief designer of Ferrari, isn't he? And he's the one who designed the W11.
Yeah, coincidence.
The last rake car.
Yeah. God, yeah. I tell you what, it's weird seeing cars with a bit of rake now, because you have obviously since 2022, all the cars have been slammed to the floor. Seeing cars with a little bit of rake. So I was watching, they had the 2019 Chinese Grand Prix on TV the other day, and I was watching a section of that. I can't remember what car it was, but it was going around the hairpin, and I swear it was like that.
Yeah,
And
you
with
see,
so
you see
calm,
complete
that's really calm now. It's weird to see cars a little bit of rate now. But yeah, they're talking about adjusting the regulations, less dependence on the battery. That's not a good look for Formula One, is it? When you're two races into a season, and there's already talk of, okay, this isn't working. We need to change this. Formula One should not be the motorsport you base road car technology on. That's not the place.
So I said it in the chat. We didn't get a single graphic until lap 23. No. After all the racing had gone on with Leclerc and Russell, about boost and power, and that's when you needed the thing. But they didn't show it. And my thought was, did they not show it because they didn't want to show really how slow they were going into the chicane and the back bit, because of how much power they lose. You saw the ones with like Gasly lost. Was it Gasly or Sainz lost 35 kilometers or 55 kilometers? Yeah. It's mental. It's like
they don't want to show that, do they?
It's mental.
Yeah, and then I saw a video clip of Colapinto, who apparently was the speed master for the Australian Grand Prix, and they had a video of him hitting that high speed, and then they just cut the audio just before he started to super clip.
That to me always says that Formula One are regretting these engines.
I think they are. They obviously come out and say that.
They're not showing them.
Yeah, and they're hiding and muting and archiving comments on official social media pages that openly criticize this formula. You've got endurance, you've got touring cars, you've got Formula E, you've got a lot of other categories that you can use for developing road car technology. Formula E, I mean, even the FE president has had a few concerns that this is a bit too much like our motorsport. Keep yourself separate. We are the electric motorsport.
So why not?
Yeah, and it's not the place for developing, because I don't think, I want that on my road car, but it's not the place for developing road car technology. And you can run, they never would, you can run V8s on naturally aspirated, fully synthetic fuels.
That's the whole thing. His whole point is supposed to be fully sustainable. Well, they've got the sustainable fuel.
Mm-hmm.
They've created a sustainable fuel.
Yep.
So why do they need the battery?
You don't. Simple as. Put us in charge of Formula One. We'd sort it. If they listened to the fans and what the fans want, because it's the fans that keep the sport going, and they have said that the fans are the lifeblood of the sport. Without them, there wouldn't be Formula One. And more people are turning off and thinking, "Well, I'll watch other motorsport." I mean, F1 is the only motorsport that I follow in depth. I'll watch others, but the only one that I really, really follow and I'm passionate about is Formula One. And fans are turning off. Lifelong fans who've watched for decades, fans who remember the 80s, the 90s, don't want to watch it anymore because it doesn't feel like Formula One. Like Max has said it doesn't feel like Formula One. And other drivers have said it. It's not Formula One. You want to, okay, I'm going out for a lap time, but I'm going to have to lift and coast. No.
The fact that they use the Banzai out the last corner to get as much speed as you can down the straight, but actually they're trying to not at all accelerate into the line because they need all the battery they can get.
Yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, if they'd have got halfway through the season and maybe they'd thought, we might need to make some changes here, make some improvements, you could maybe understand it. But when they've had a race and they're already thinking, okay, we might need to give it one more and then potentially look at changes, it doesn't paint F1 in a very big light.
I'm not looking forward to this 1 kilometre straight in China. I can't see how halfway down it they're gonna have to literally
get out and push.
Super clip, drop a gear to get more battery back to the rest. I assume for the rest of the straight. I don't know how it's going to work. I'll have to watch it tomorrow morning and find it. But
yeah, I would assume that each team is bringing a couple of tow trucks as well. So when the cars run out on the straight, they can then, jump in the tow truck, tow it to the end, use a bit of recharge, and then be on your way for the rest of the lap. That's how I would assume it's working. To be fair, Aston's probably better to do the entire race in the tow truck. And the Williams. But we shall certainly see. It's early days, and a lot of people have been very judgmental of these new regulations, myself included. But we'll have to see what happens this weekend when there's even less data gathering because there's only one practice session, and then we're straight into sprint. So we shall see. So before we do call it a night tonight, because we're getting near closing time, we won't do the sprint, but for your Grand Prix, what is your top 3 in reverse order?
Antonelli, Hamilton, Russell.
Hamilton, first podium for Ferrari. Nice.
I should have got a podium last weekend.
Okay, I'm going to go for the same podium as Australia. So Leclerc third, Antonelli second, Russell win. I mean, Russell's got the edge over Antonelli all day of the week, every day of the week.
I'm hoping that either Hamilton and Leclerc wins, is what I'm hoping. So then it will set up what the season could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get back to the days when, remember the days when it was either a Michelin track or a Bridgestone track, and you'll get to that engine track, or was it a Mercedes engine track?
Oh, it's none. They've all run out of power down the straight. That's when the Honda comes alive. I was thinking, I had a point that I was going to make, and I can't remember what it was. It's gone. It was about Bridgestone, Michelin, and power-dependent circuits, but it's completely gone. I'll remember it for next time, probably. But there we go. Thank you very, very much for watching. My voice has been a little more toned down tonight because I've got a son sleeping not too far away, so I'm trying not to wake you up. But there we go. Thank you very, very much for watching. We shall see you next week. Enjoy the Grand Prix if you're up. It's a nice early one. I do like the early start, sitting down with a coffee watching the Grand Prix. It's lovely. But we shall see if any cars can make it to the finish or get down the straight. But there we go. Have a good week. Enjoy the Grand Prix. I've been Steve. Here's been Chris. We'll see you next week. Cheers.